Hi everyone, thanks for joining today. This is Karen. Today we're going to focus on a mindfulness yoga practice. We're going to build basic focus and balance and strengthening while staying really close to, really hugging into our center to create a moving meditation focusing on our breath. So we'll start in a comfortable, easy pose just for a moment with the hands down on the knees. Taking 3 deep breaths together to settle into the space of our bodies. We can cultivate this Ujjayi breath in the back of the throat as a heating breath and also as a way of creating focus and concentration by making the breath audible. So feeling as if you're making Darth Vader or the sound of a hairdryer in the back of the throat. Imagine that you're sipping in breath like through a straw, slightly constricting the throat so it makes an audible sound like this, and the exhale also has an audible sound. And taking another breath in through the nose, practicing that Ujjayi breath through the throat. And exhaling. And then taking one last deep breath in, feeling that Ujjayi vibration in the throat. Sucking it in like through a straw. And exhaling. And feel as you do everything, hug into the very center line of your body. Just tuning into your energetic core. Feeling the grounding of your tailbone down towards the ground. Same time, lengthening of your crown up towards the sky. Feel that natural length and extension of the spine. And we'll navigate to hands and knees. Bringing the wrists under the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Taking a moment to feel that nice long spine here on hands and knees from your tailbone through to the crown. And then taking a few rounds of cat-cow, warming up the spine, inhaling to open through the chest. And exhale to pull the belly in, press away with the hands. Inhale, arch the spine. Continuing with that audible breath, exhale, round the spine. A couple more, inhale. Exhale. Good, one more. This time as you inhale, press the heels of the hands towards the knees. See how you feel that opening expansion in the chest. And as you exhale, press the heels of the hands away up towards the top of the mat. And then come back to center. Good, nice long spine. Extend your right leg back behind you, point your toes, and stretch your left arm out in front. And touch your bicep with your ear, looking down, finding a point of focus for your eyes. Hold your gaze, pull your belly up towards your spine, and lengthen in 2 directions. So stretching back, activating through the toes. Stretching forward, activating through the fingertips. Take a breath in, listen for that Ujjayi breath. And release on your exhale. Good, inhale, stretch your left toes back. Reach, extend your right fingertips forward. And experience that you're still hugging everything into the core. So feel the engagements of the inner thighs. Feel the length of the spine from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Breathe, inhale, listen for the breath. Find your point of focus. And release. Nice. Back to neutral on hands and knees. And plant your left hand. Inhale, Just sweep your right arm up towards the sky, just a gentle opening here. And then sweep your right arm underneath, threading the needle underneath the left arm. And bring your right shoulder to the ground. Find a good placement for your left hand so that you're pressing away, creating that nice twist through the upper torso. Take a couple of deep breaths. Find a focal point for your eyes. And then press up. Hands and knees. Plant your right hand. Inhale, sweep your left arm up, gentle twist. And then thread the left arm underneath. And just experiment with the placement of your right hand. I'm going to keep the hips nice and square here. Find a focal point, gaze upwards. Experiment with that pressure that you're placing into your right hand to create that nice twist through the torso, feeling some opening, some stretch through the left shoulder. And press your way back up, 2 hands and knees. And then rotate the hands just slightly out, so about 45 degrees with your fingertips, taking our wide leg downward dog. Bring the feet so that they're as wide as your mat, big toes on the mat, and inhale and lift your hips upwards. Downward facing dog. And press into your hands here. Feel the shoulder blades just gliding down the back as you work your heels down towards the ground. Remember, it's okay to have some bend in the knees as you feel that nice length in the spine. And eventually the legs might start to straighten here. You'll feel more activation of stretch through the hamstrings, through the back of the legs. And start to walk one heel down the other. Loosen and soften through the neck and the jaw. Come back to that nice ujjayi breath in the throat here. Maybe lifting up onto the toes and dropping the heels down to the left, to the right. Playing with that sensation in the feet and the toes. And then walking the feet hip width apart. And then looking forward and starting to just walk the feet towards the hands. Coming to a ragdoll position here, letting yourself just hang down over the legs. Keep that nice bend in the knees to support your torso. Relax your head and your neck. You can grab for opposite elbows here. And let the torso start to lengthen and extend down towards the floor. Maybe adding some movement here, side to side. Keeping the breath moving and flowing. Feel the rootedness of your feet pressing down into the ground. And then relax the hands down. Take an inhale breath. And just bring the hands upwards on the legs, maybe to the shins, lengthening the spine. Exhale. And softening down. Inhaling, lengthening up again, creating a flat back. You can keep as much bend in the knees as you'd like. Maybe bringing the hands up a little higher on the thighs. Exhale and soften. And one more inhale, sweeping to flat back. Exhale to soften, sweep the hands down the back of the legs. Maybe creating slight pull here on the back of the legs. Just relaxing through the head and the neck. And then rooting the feet. And inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Engage your core. And exhale and release your arms. Release your hands down by your side. Just stand still for a moment and feel into the length of your spine, the grounding and the rootedness down through your feet. And feel that even standing, you can hug everything into center, pulling slightly up and in through your abdominal muscles, slightly lifting through the chest, drawing the shoulder blades back and down. And inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, slightly gaze up. And exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, release your hands down. Inhale, halfway lift your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and step your right foot back, coming into low lunge here. Drop the back knee, drop the back foot. Inhale and sweep the arms up. And if you don't feel stable with the arms up, bring the hands to prayer position or bring your hands to your hips. And start to sink down towards the mat as you keep your two hips nice and square. Really plant your back shin down into the ground and hug everything in. Feel that nice straight line up through the spine, up through the crown of the head. And release, bring the hands down. Good, and step your left foot back into plank. We're coming into high plank here, engaging through the abdominal muscles. If you ever need to come right away onto your knees is fine. Otherwise, taking a moment here in high plank, pressing the balls of the feet into the floor, keeping the legs nice, active, and strong. Find your point of focus. Good, bring your knees down, top of the feet down, and lower your chin and chest down towards the ground. Press yourself forward so you're lying flat on your belly. Engage through the legs. And inhale, lift up. Low cobra. Just come up even if it's a couple of inches until you feel that engagement through the low back. Not too much, still warming up here through the low spine. Pull the lower belly up and in here, supporting the engagement here in the lower back. And exhale. And release, come down. And press up and back into downward facing dog. And press your heels down into the ground. And then look forward, and then walk the feet again up towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift the spine. Exhale, and fold. And this time, step your left foot all the way back. Drop the back knee, drop the back foot, and inhale, sweep the arms up, or to prayer position, or hands to hips. And then spread open through the fingers. Feel that energy stretching upward through the fingertips At the same time, press down through the back shin, the back foot, hug everything to center, find a focal point, deep breath. And release, sweep the arms down. Step your left foot back up to right. Exhale, hang. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, and fold. Inhale, root the feet. Bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, and release the arms down. Take one big breath here, listening for the breath. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold, nice swan dive all the way down. Bend the knees here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step your right foot back again. This time moving into our high lunge. Press through the ball of your right foot. Engage through the feet, found your foundation first. And then either hands to hips, hands to heart center, or extend the arms up overhead. And really press into the back foot. Imagine that you're trying to press the mat away. Find the right amount of stretch back through that right thigh. And then squeeze the inner thighs in together. Pull the lower belly in. Feel the alignment up through the crown of the head. Good. Sweep the arms down. Step the left foot back. High plank. Just make sure that you're not collapsing down towards the mat, but really lifting up the hips up towards the sky as you pull the lower belly in. So slightly rounding the back of the spine as you press away. Pull the belly in. Good, and come down onto the knees, tops of the feet, lower down chin and chest. And press forward, lengthening the spine first. Engage the feet, press the feet down into the floor. And inhale, lift up again, low cobra. Again, pulling the lower belly up and in, feeling the lower back here engage, keeping the feet down on the ground, keeping the head in line with the heart so you're not throwing the head back, but just starting to gaze upward with your eyes. And release, come all the way back down. Press up onto hands and knees, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog, take a couple deep resting breaths here if you ever need to. Come into child's pose, otherwise take a couple breaths here in downward facing dog. And then looking forward, start to walk the feet upwards towards your hands. Soften onto the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen the spine, exhale. Soften down towards the ground. Plant the hands, step your left foot back. High lunge, set it up first. Find your foundation through the legs, through the feet. And then find the position of the arms, either upwards, on the hips, or hands in prayer position. And keeping both feet active, finding either your gaze forward, or maybe even gazing upwards slightly, feeling that expansion upwards as you stay rooted and strong in the legs. Breathing in, find a nice deep breath through the throat. And exhale. And release. And step your left foot back to the right. Soften head and neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Soften towards the ground. Release your head. Ground the feet. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Stretch up. Exhale. Release. Take a deep breath. Feel the feet rooted down into the mat. One more round. Inhale. Stretch the arms up. Exhale and fold. Sweep the arms down. Melt onto the legs. Inhale, halfway lift the spine. You can bend the knees if you need to. Exhale and soften. Plant the hands, step your right foot back. And press into the ball of the foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Good, and coming into a variation of twist. So you can come down onto the knee if you need a little extra support, or stay up on the ball of the foot, lengthening up. Couple options, either stretching your right arm forward, your left arm back, navigating the twist with straight arms. Option to bring the hands in prayer position and bring the right elbow onto the left knee. Using the pressure of the elbow to knee to create that nice twist through the torso. If you've come onto the knee and you want to create a little bit more stretch, more balanced challenge, then come up again onto the ball of the foot. Find your variation, take another deep breath. And release. And bring the hands down, step the left foot back. High plank, pull the belly in. Let's stay a couple breaths here. Feeling that fire in the belly, heat in the torso. Breathe through it. Get an option to lower down onto the knees, come down chin and chest, or exhaling, come all the way down in a push-up position, nice and slow. Either way, come all the way down into the belly. Re-engage the legs, feet on the floor. Inhale. Look up, lift up. Engage lower belly. Draw the shoulders down and back. Option to extend the arms out to your side. Looking up, gazing up, breathing. And then release, coming all the way down. And then pressing yourself up. Downward facing dog, lift your hips up. Press your feet into the ground. Audible breaths here. And look forward and walk your feet forward to your hands, hip width apart. Soften. Inhale, halfway lift the spine. Exhale. Release down, torso on the legs. Plant the hands and step your left foot all the way back. And find your variation of the twist here. Move slowly, really synchronize with your breathing. Stay connected and hugged into center. Maybe play with those options, twisting open through the arms, or bringing hands to prayer position, staying up on the ball of the foot or coming down onto the knee, your choice. Find a position you can maintain that balanced, focused mind. And use and engage your breath. And release your twist. Hands down. Step your left foot forward. Soften onto the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, release the arms. Good, take a focused breath, standing still. Nice, bring your hands to your hips. Take a big step back with your right foot, planting the foot at a 45-degree angle, preparing for our warrior two pose. Creating a deep bend in the left knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Gaze out over your left fingertips. Press your right foot into the mat. Imagine that you're pressing your feet apart, spreading the mat apart. Feel the foundation of strength in your legs. Relax the shoulders, down and back. Take another deep breath. Hug into center. And then straighten the left leg. Turn the left toes in, so both toes in, about 45 degrees. Open the chest. Pull the belly up and in, and exhale, come down. Just place the hands on the ground out in front of you. Soften. Take an inhale breath, lengthen through the spine. Exhale. Soften the crown of the head down towards the ground. One more inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Pull the lower belly in. Hands to hips. Inhale, come up. And then turn your right toes out. Back foot stays in, 45 degrees. Bend the right knee, sit down nice and low. Aim for a 90-degree angle on the right leg. Inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior two. Look over your right fingertips. Relax your shoulders down. Take the gaze right over your middle finger. Feel the strength and support of the midline of your body. Make sure you're not over to the right side, through the torso, but staying very centered. Up through the crown. Take another deep breath. And release. Right leg straighten. Bring your right toes in. Open up through the chest. And exhale, come down. Bring the hands down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release. And then plant your left hand down on the floor, right in the center. Inhale, reach, sweep your right arm up, take your twist. Breathe and gaze upwards. Hug the low belly in. And exhale. And sweep your right arm down. Good, place your right hand center. Inhale, sweep your left arm up. Take your twist. Notice any differences in your body, one side to the other. Make any adjustments that you need to make. Stay centered. Stay focused on your breath, in and out. Building focus, strength, building calm center. And release, hands down. Very nice, and bring hands to your hips. Inhale, come up. Step the right foot back to the left, arms over the head. And release, relax your arms down by your side. Good deep breath. And then turn face forward on your mat. Bow pulling posture, building another balanced, strengthening pose here. Bring your right arm out, drop your right hand down, and grab the foot from the inside. Draw your right shoulder back from the beginning. Bring the knees together and stretch your left arm up.
And you might just stay right here, working this foundation of the pose, starting to feel the pressure of kicking your foot back into your hand. And very slowly letting the foot continue to kick back into the hand as your right knee starts to stretch back and up, away from the floor, up towards the ceiling. Keeping the left arm active so you feel the two shoulders stretching apart. Keeping the left leg nice and straight, active and strong. Gazing forward, finding that point of focus. Stretch forward, keep kicking, kick up. And release. And relax. Deep breath. And other side, bring your left arm out, drop your hand down, and grab the foot from the inside. Knees close. Stretch your right arm up. Draw your left shoulder back. And stretch up. And stay really present to where your body here actually needs to go. Maybe it's just staying right here so that you can stay focused. Stay calm in your body. Stay focused on your breath. Only if you need a little bit more, start to kick that left foot very slowly up and back. So moving slowly with control so you feel that active back bend in the spine, the stretch across the shoulders, and staying focused with your gaze, with your breath, building your strength, maintaining your focus. Stretch forward through the fingertips, kick up through the foot, stretch back, kick up, and release, and just kick to come out, and release your arm down. Very nice, deep breath. And step all the way back to the back of your mat. Your balancing stick pose. Inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Interlock your fingers, release your index fingers, crush your thumbs. You've got a steeple grip. Stretch up, step forward on your right foot, a big step. Point your back toes and come down. Modification can be bringing hands to your hips here or bringing your arms out to the side. Stretching back through the left toes as you keep the two hips square. Hug things into center so the hips stay square. Stretch forward. Point through the toes. Stretch back. Good, and release. And just step back. Right foot to left. Relax the arms down. Inhale, bring the arms up. Interlock the fingers. Release index fingers. Cross the thumbs. Step forward on your left foot. Point your right toes. And pivot, come down. You're aiming for a flat back, but maybe it's just a couple of inches. So you're keeping everything nice and engaged along the center line. If you're collapsing into the pose, come back out. Find that line from fingertips to toes. Feel free to bring hands on hips. Keeping everything strong and hugged into center. Pull the belly in, stretch through the back toes, stretch forward, stretch back, and release. And step the left foot back. Relax the arms down. Take a deep breath. Good, and inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, and just sweep down again. Open up the feet so that they're hip-width distance apart. And just walk your hands forward here, coming into downward facing dog. Press the heels down, feel that nice stretch through your whole spine. Bend the knees as much as you need to, just experiment with creating all of that stretch through the back of the body. Good, and then lowering down onto your knees. And send your hips down, child's pose. And find your variation. Stacking the hands, opening the knees up wider if you need to. And taking a moment to settle, to sink into the ground. And breathing into the back of the body. And feeling the body settle. Feeling the heart rate slow. Staying with or returning to a state of calm, a state of mindful breathing in and out through the nose. Just remembering it's not how deep we go into any one posture that makes our practice. At our level of mindfulness, of breath, of presence that we bring to our practice. Settling in one more breath. And then releasing and coming up. So you're sitting on your knees, and then just drop your hips over to one side and extend your legs out in front of you. Stretch and extend the legs. Stretch the arms forward. Pull your lower belly in and exhale. Lower yourself all the way down. Until you're all the way down on your back. Taking a moment to feel your whole body resting on the ground as we prepare for our bridge pose. Bend your knees and walk your hips in towards your hips. And then shift so that your lower back is nice and flush against the ground to begin with. Heels a couple inches away from the hips. Knees pointing straight up. Bring your hands down on the ground. Press your hands down. Inhale. And lift your hips up. We're going to take more than one bridge. So if you want to start this first one just by pressing your hands down, you can stay here or walking the shoulders underneath you one at a time to clasp your hands. And then hugging everything in, squeezing your inner thighs. Imagine that you've got a block in between your thighs. You're squeezing that block together, squeezing through the seat as you lift your hips up towards the sky. Come back to audible breath. And then slowly release. And bring your shoulders back out from underneath you. Separate the feet wider. Let the knees fall in towards one another for a moment. Take a couple of active breaths here. And then our second bridge, bring the feet back hip width, pointing the knees up towards the sky. Press your hands down into the ground. And inhale, press the hips up. Walk the hands, or the shoulders underneath to clasp the hands. Make sure the knees don't start to splay apart. Really squeeze in through the inner thighs, through the seat. Feel that nice arch of the back, backward bending. Lifting your torso up towards the sky. And slowly release.
So one at a time, bring your knees into your chest. And maybe making some circles. Do what feels right intuitively here, giving yourself a little massage through your sacrum. Or just hugging the knees into the chest if that feels good. Making some circles with the knees. And then reaching for the back of the thighs. We're going to rock and roll our way up. Rock your way back up to seated. And extend your right leg out and your left foot in. So your left foot is to the inside of your right inner thigh. And inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Turn to the right. And exhale, forward fold over the right leg. Just let the hands just fall where they may on either side of the leg. Don't worry about how deep you go. Just find that nice length through your spine. And breathe into this forward fold. Maybe it's just a couple of inches, but you're really lengthening out through the low back. Pulling the lower belly in with your inhales, lengthening your spine through the crown of the head. With your exhale, sending that sit bone down into the mat, so feeling that nice extension of the spine wherever you are. On your next exhale, just relax, release your head, let your spine round, forehead in towards your knee. And take a few deep breaths here, just surrendering into gravity, letting everything soften and sink down towards the ground. Finding that nice audible breath, making the breath slower and smoother and more even now as we start to soften and release. Feeling that softening through the back of the leg, the back of the knee, the hamstring. Noticing if your jaw can relax. Face can relax. And then on your next inhale, lengthen again through the spine. And then walk your hands back towards your hips. Bring your right leg forward on your mat. Stretch it straight out in front of you. Lift your left knee up towards the sky. Place it on the inside of your right leg. Bring your left hand behind you like a kickstand. Inhale, stretch your right arm up. And press back through the knee. Now you've got some options here if that's too much. You can just hug your knees in, just wrapping your right arm around your left leg. Or using the hand like a kickstand here to wrap the leg. Or if you prefer to have the elbow on the inside of that knee, looking over the left shoulder. Find a position you can create a nice active twist through the upper torso. And you can still maintain a nice, long, even breath. And release. And switch legs. Bring your left leg out. Bring your right foot in. Leg at 45-degree angle. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Turn to the left and exhale, forward fold. Find that length. Notice one side might be different. You might be activating different stretch on this side, going a little bit further or not as far on one side. Just noticing, letting yourself be right where you are here. Finding length through the spine from your Tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. With your inhales, feeling that expansion forward through the crown. And with your exhales, feeling your sit bones press down into the mat. Pulling the lower belly in, hugging everything to center. And staying focused first and foremost on the movement, on the foundation of your breath, in and out through the nose, feeling that calming effect of the breath. On your next exhale, releasing your head, your neck, releasing your forehead towards your knee. And see what you can soften now. Surrendering to this moment right here, right now, surrendering to the breath, continuing to flow through the body as your body seeks the surrender for a moment. And letting the simplicity of the pose just bring your presence to the pose, bringing your awareness and presence to the breath flowing through you. As the muscles start to soften and release. And then on your next inhale, lengthen again forward, engage your lower belly. And then walk your hands in. And bring your left leg so it's straight out in front of you. And just send your right knee up towards the sky. Bring your right arm behind you. Inhale, stretch your left arm up. And then take your twist, either grabbing for the outside of the knee, wrapping your arm around, or bringing elbow into the knee. And looking over the right shoulder. Hugging to center so you find that nice length from your tailbone up towards the crown. Just rotating right over the spine, looking over to the right. Finding your nice breath here. One more inhale. Long exhale. And releasing back to center. And extending, leg out. And then stretching the arms forward again. Pull the lower belly in. And just roll your way all the way down. Coming down onto your back. And then again, walking your heels in towards your hips. And lower back flush on the ground. Let's bring the right foot up on top of the left thigh for our figure 4 stretch here through the hips. And either staying here, if that's enough stretch, or starting to thread. And lift the left foot off the ground to reach behind, grab for back of the leg thigh. And keeping the right foot here flexed. It's melting into the stretch for the hips. Feeling that stretch through the right hip. Making sure that you're not creating too much stretch, that you can't settle in and enjoy that expansion and opening happening as you breathe into the pose. Taking a few more deep breaths here. Staying focused on the breath. If you feel the mind wandering, bringing it back to the sensations of your breath, making your breath audible in your throat, so the breath is the most interesting thing happening in the moment. And feeling into those sensations of stretch as the breath softens and relaxes and opens. And release. And switch sides, left foot down. Bring the right foot down onto the ground. Take a moment here, just feeling into the difference, maybe into those two hips now. And letting yourself settle. And then bringing left foot up onto the top of the right thigh. Moving slowly, feeling into the side, maybe noticing if one side is a little tighter than the other, a little bit looser. Taking your option, backing off if it's just too much sensation, so that you're giving yourself the space to become really present to the breath's sensations of stretch. And keeping that left foot this time slightly flexed, protecting your knee. Letting the back of the neck soften and lengthen. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And release, right foot down. Keep the feet wide. Lower back on the ground. Just windshield wiper the knees right and left a few times, right and left. And then bring the knees back up. And bring the soles of the feet together here. Very gently allowing the knees to fall down towards the ground. And just finding the right position here for your feet. If you want less intensity, just slide your feet a little bit forward towards the top of the mat. A little bit more intensity. Feet a little bit closer. And letting the arms just relax. And letting the knees just start to melt open, feeling that nice stretch through the inner thighs here. Taking some deep breaths in and out through the nose. Letting the shoulders and the jaw also relax here. And keeping that slight engagement of the feet pressed just gently into one another. Feeling that slight arch through the lower back as your tailbone stretches down. And feeling into this dimension of stillness as you allow your body to settle, allow your mind to settle. more smooth, more even, letting go. Control over the breath. And feel free to stay here with the feet together, or if you're ready to extend your legs out in front of you to take our final Shavasana. Extend the legs out. And let the feet just start to relax open. And let the eyes close. Soften your arms. And feel your body soften and melt into the ground. And letting go all effort. Letting your body now rest in that space of centeredness that we created in our practice together. Very gently feeling in along that energetic core. All the way up and down the spine, feeling core of your body. Activate, but also allowing yourself to rest. And resting in the stillness of observing your energetic core of energy, right up and down and along the spine. Letting the limbs relax, the legs soften, the arms soften and relax all the way through the hands, the fingers. And the face and the jaw can soften and relax. Taking one last moment in stillness, sinking into yourself. Feeling the presence of yourself throughout your whole body now. And then very gently bringing one knee in and then the other. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, very slowly, very gently. Knees come into chest. And then roll your way onto your right side. Take a moment. And then press yourself up into an easy seated pose. Ending our practice seated with a moment of gratitude. Bringing hands into your center, your heart center, rubbing your hands together for a moment, coming into full sense of yourself and your body, physical body. Bringing your hands to your heart, extending a moment of gratitude, self-love to yourself. And breathing that in. And from my heart to yours, wishing you a wonderful rest of your day and week. Namaste.